All right, good evening, everybody. Here we are finally for UFC Freedom 250. Um, any UFC fans out there know it's just a 7 fight card, which will make it a little bit quicker on a video. Um, but let's get right into this. Well, first of all, I'll just touch base on what I was just going to say in the last fight. So to start off the night, we've got Lopez versus Garcia. Um, One of the more closely lined fights on the whole card. Um, it's, I believe Lopez might be like a minus 155 range right now, with Garcia plus 135 range. Uh, and I think it's a pretty even fight. Um, I think on the feet, both fighters are live for a knockout on the feet, and but I do think that Lopez has more ways to win. I think if he's smart, I would grapple early if I'm him. Um, so if you like Lopez, uh, I do lean that way, and I do lean for him to get a takedown in the first round. And this could be fight of the night candidate. If it goes all 3 rounds, it could end up being a banger. They could end up brawling in the second and third round, I think. And my only worry is on the Diego Lopez side at all would be it's Freedom 250. They want bangers, and does he just say, you know what, I'm not going to grapple at all? And if he does that, then I think he's making a mistake. So I think Garcia is live, but my pick is going to be Lopez, just because I feel like he's got more ways to win. But it's a no bet for me. I don't have any wagers on this fight. I do have a slight lean fight to start second round, but as a parlay piece, and the over 1.5 at like a minus 130 range. But if he grapples, there is that chance of him getting a submission in the first round. So next fight, we've got Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. This fight here, I think, is more of a. I'm not gonna. I don't want to strictly. I don't want to say I see it as a 50-50, but I don't see it as a minus 350 plus 250 fight either, where it's lined at right now. So I think it's a. I think if this is on the feet, it's pretty close, and Dawkins probably has a slight edge. Dawkins also has submission threats grappling, but Nickel is by far most dominating wrestler. By far. He If he grapples and able to grapple with Dawkins, he's gonna probably dominate him, and he's gonna have really good position over him on the mat. Now, saying that, I don't think Nickel gets a finish. I think Dawkins is good enough off his back to where I don't think Nickel's going to be able to get a finish. So here are 2 wagers that I'm going to wager on. I'm going to go, a regular unit on the first one. I've got fight to start round 3 at plus 100. And then I'm going to do probably just like a half a unit on fight to go the distance. Um, you know, I I normally wouldn't, you know, sign up and endorse to do both. But I think I am going to end up doing both this time. Just not for a lot though. I'm just probably gonna do a few bucks on both of them. Um, but I do like the fight to start third round a lot. I also like the over 1.5. If you like that better, it is, I believe, a minus 150 to minus 155 range right now. I like that a lot. I'm also using fight to start round 2 as a parlay piece. So I'll probably go a little bit heavier on that one there. So that's what I like in that fight. Next, we've got Rufy versus Chandler. I think Chandler is live to grapple in the first round. I think it, and if you do like Chandler at all, over a half of takedown is like a minus 175 on DraftKings. I'm not going to play it, but I don't hate it. I mean, you could even do a parlay piece and do an SGP and do Chandler one takedown and Rufy on the money line, and I bet you it would be probably even money or close to it. But I like Rufy to take over after the first round. I think Chandler might have a little success grappling early, and then I do like Rufy. I do like Rufy to get a KO. I just don't like him at a minus 700. I'm not gonna play it, but that's my lean. And then next we've got Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis. I would love to see Derek Lewis win. I haven't been a huge Hokett fan, but I am starting to come around with him. I understand why he's doing these characters. I just feel like he's going a little too far with some of them. And I think a lot of the fans live are even getting sick of it and just saying, "Listen, dude, it's not that funny anymore." It was funny for like the first couple, and then I don't know, it just hasn't been the same, I don't think. And I've seen 2 different interviews with him where he's not in character at all and he's talking normal, and I really like the guy. I really like that version of him, but I understand that he's trying to sell stuff, and he's definitely got people talking about him, whether it's good or bad. So in the end, if he becomes the real deal, it's a good thing, I think. I do understand from a marketing standpoint what he's trying to accomplish. Now, saying that, I think Lewis is live for the first 2 minutes of this fight. So if you want to take a flyer on Lewis plus 700 KO first round, it's not the worst wager in the world. But I think after 90 seconds, he's done. And also, if I'm Josh Hokett, I'm shooting a takedown the first. I actually wrote down the first 30 seconds of the fight. But in all reality, first 10 seconds of the fight, I'm shooting a takedown. I'm getting Derek Lewis on his back to where his power is negated and it's not there. And I'm gonna gas him out. And then if I don't finish him in the first round, it's gonna stand back up on the feet in round number 2. And Josh Hokett's gonna be way fresher and get a second round knockout probably. But I do like Hokett. I like Hokett inside the distance, and I am going to be wagering this. It could be a little scary if he does get a takedown and grab a neck or a back or something like that. Hokett KO minus 115. I do like that. You could also see what Hokett money line and a takedown is. I didn't figure it out before I started recording. I just thought of it actually. But I do like Hokett KO minus 115. And then here's another fight that I don't really have much interest in. O'Malley versus Zahabi. I don't know where O'Malley's head is at. I've heard a couple things of him saying crazy ass shit like this could be one of my last fights. Just I don't know where his mind's at on his wanting to get another title shot, and I just don't know. Is he just collecting a paycheck here? Because I think he's, if he's been smart with his money, he should be okay. Um, so I'm not sure where his head's at. This fight, I expect it to stay standing. I expect O'Malley to be the busier, higher volume striker. Um, Zahabi's usually not a high volume striker. I don't think either fighter are gonna try and shoot for a takedown. If they do and they get it, you got huge plus odds. I believe they're like plus 500 or something like that for either one of I think O'Malley's like a plus 600 and Zahabi's a plus 500 for a takedown. But I don't see it happening. I think it stays standing for all 3 rounds. And, I just don't know. I'm not confident enough to take O'Malley by KO. I would do him by decision more than anything, or maybe over 1.5 rounds and on the money line, but I'm staying away. I have no interest in wagering on this fight. But I do lean O'Malley to get the win, just to give out a pick. Next fight, I think it's the toughest fight on the card to handicap. I think I really need to see the weigh-ins, which I think are tomorrow morning, before I make a definite, side to where I'm going to put money down. I do have one wager that I'm going to be putting money on regardless. I do like the over. So if you like the over 2.5 at minus 165, I endorse that. I think this is strictly a 50-50 fight. I think it's right here's where my mind's at is, what is Alex Pereira going to weigh in at? Is he going to weigh in at 255 and then be 265, 270 when they fight? Or maybe even not even cut anything and still only be 255 when they fight? Or is he going to cut down some and be 235 to 240 when they weigh in? If he's 235 to 240, I like him. I think he'll still be quick, agile, and even have a little more stamina if he comes in. And I'm hoping that's the mindset that they're having also, of him coming in between 235 and 240 as a fit, maybe slightly underweight heavyweight, kind of like a Josh Hokett does. I believe Josh Hokett normally comes in around 240. There's nothing wrong with coming in under the 260 pounds. There's nothing wrong with that. If he comes in at 255, then I'm worried. Then I think Pereira is going to piece him up, Gon will probably piece him up, be the faster fighter. And, but I do lean the over regardless. So one play I'm going to make, and I'm going to say this too. I like both sides of this, but it's moved a little bit on the other side. I like Pereira's significant strikes over 50.5, minus 115 on DraftKings. And I'm going to tell you this, on Bet Rivers, this is 59.5 on Bet Rivers. Granted, it's plus money for 59.5, but and they've got Cyril Gons at 54.5. It was 50.5 yesterday, but then it went up overnight. And Bet Rivers has Cyril Gons at 65.5. So, if you're into betting both sides of stuff, they both could come through. But if they go over, I expect them to both go over by quite a bit. But I do like his significant strikes over 50.5. So I do like that. And I am going to be on Pereira money line if he comes in the weight that I'm hoping he comes in at. Last fight of the night is Topuria versus Gaethje. So my girlfriend literally just bought me this shirt. It's Justin Gaethje. I don't know if you guys can see it, and it's it's not that I'm a huge fan of his, but I do like him. But this is not going to end well for him at all. It's going to be I think it's going to be a quick. I'm 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 guessing first or second round KO. I don't think Topuria is going to want to submit him either. And I think it stays on the feet. And I think Topuria gets a knockout. I think he's just that much better everywhere. So here's what I'm playing. You can do first or second round KO on FanDuel and get a better number. And also, you could use their 50% boost also. Let me just double check on that FanDuel number first before giving all this out. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. Method, round combos. Nope. I don't see. Okay, here we go. It's plus 100 for first or second round on FanDuel. And they've also got a 50% boost you can use on anything. So you could boost the first or second round KO to a plus 150 on FanDuel. I believe they're giving out $25 limits for that. You could do first, second, or third and boost it to a plus 100, which is better than this number right here. So you might be better off doing that on FanDuel. This one here is a SGP on DraftKings, but I do like it, and that's what my play is going to be. So now I'm going to pull up basically my parlays. What? You got to be kidding me. Son of a bitch. I hate this. So it looks like none of my stuff saved properly. I can't believe this. All right, so I'm gonna have to wing this live because I didn't go over it good enough. I thought I saved everything, and then I thought I uploaded it to the computer and then put it in the StreamYard, and nothing got saved properly. So here are my parlays. I'm gonna write these down real quick, or try to. I'm just gonna abbreviate to try and do it fast. Round 2 slash So the first one is going to be a 2-piece parlay. So the first one is nickel fight, start round 2. Topuria fight under 2.5 rounds and end by KO. It's kind of an SGP on DraftKings. That 2-piece parlay is a minus 130. Once again, that's a minus 130. Sorry for not being prepared this time. The second one I've got the nickel. I'm going right back to the nickel fight to start round 2, and then it's the Pereira fight over 1.5 rounds. I think I like this one a little bit better. And it's going to be nickel to start round 2. Pereira over 1.5 rounds minus 120. I think I like that one a little bit better as a 2-piece parlay. So that's my second parlay. And then, and if anyone needs these, just hit me up. I'll post them all on Picket also, or a lot of us that watch this video are probably in the Sportsline Discord. I can put them in there too. And then the third one is going to be 3 fighters on significant strikes. It's going to be Rufy / O'Malley, most significant strikes, and then Pereira 20 plus minus 109. So this is going to kind of like, this is on FanDuel. It's Rufy and O'Malley, most significant strikes in their fight. And then Pereira 20 plus significant strikes minus 109. I like that one a lot, actually. And then all of the singles, I did talk about them. The only one I did not post was the Alex Pereira money line minus 110 or minus 108. But we did talk about the significant strike prop over 50.5 at minus 115. And we did talk about the Nickel Dawkins fight. Start round 3 at plus 100 and fight to go the distance at plus 175. Once again, I apologize for this. I'm going to add it one more time. See, you all can see where I started typing right there, and I don't know why it cut it all off. It cut it off, and it put up last week's for some reason on the other one. So, and then the third play would be Topuria, first, second, or third KO on FanDuel boosted to a plus 100, or you could do the DraftKings under 2.5 rounds and finish by KO minus 125. The boosted one on FanDuel is going to be way better. But if anyone has any question, comments, sorry about the confusion towards the end of the recording. And I hope everybody cashes some wagers with me, and have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.